This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's caught by Jackson. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the play.
Green Bay need to get Aaron Rodgers some help at receiver, and they did so by picking Christian Watson 34th overall. That's the earliest they've taken a receiver since 2002. Watson has some NFL bloodlines as well. His dad, Tim, was also drafted by the Packers, and you know his father's very proud watching him pick up that.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On play action, Fields. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
From the 50, here's Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers, a check down here to Jones. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 11. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. And here's Trenton Gill now. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll go again to Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
26.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. The Packers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him, and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, Rodgers. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Throwing is Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And Crosby missed it. No good. Wide to the left for Crosby. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Still searching for that first breakthrough, and I thought this might be it. But it's not to be, and we're still scoreless.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Play action. It's Fields. Got it open. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Okay, I'm not a fan of any routes that just, turn around defensive backs, mainly because I was a defensive back. But the comeback route is so difficult because to sell it, you're selling it like it's a deep route before you come back towards either the line of scrimmage or the sideline. And, boy, that one worked to perfection.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Eddie Jackson picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Rodgers sliding to a stop with a 1st down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Rodgers.
Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On third down, here's Jones. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Jones looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. On the sneak, Rodgers. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Well, look at this. Lewis, a tight end carry. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Mercedes Lewis, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we are tied at 7. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. On first down, it's Fields. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he's got this down to the 35. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Going up the gut, Montgomery down to about the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? A read option, here's Montgomery. 41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. He gets this to Jones over the middle. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Gets this one left side to Pettis. Stops short. down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd and goal from the 1. A shotgun snap, Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. In the end zone, it's a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the 4th quarter tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
And this is going to be Packer football.
That's good. For our Packers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Up the middle, Jones. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for a 4th quarter lead. The kick by Crosby is good, and they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Here's Jackson. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
On second down, it's Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On play action. Now Rodgers. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
The offense on third down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Rodgers. A check down here to Jones. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
Dante Pettis now from his end zone.
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And the Packers pick it up. And this defense has broken it open as they return to the house for 6. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Packer pressure, and down he goes.
It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
Fourth down, Fields has to have this one.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Rasul Douglas picks it, and he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in